At the beginning of the last decade, BMW had no luck with four-cylinder engines. Major and minor problems occurred with both gasoline and diesel engines. On top of that, it turned out that diesel cars can burn out due to a design flaw, the famous EGR scandal. Most modifications of the BMW X33 are equipped with a four-cylinder unit. Gasoline versions develop up to 252 horsepower, and diesel, up to 231 horsepower. Only the most powerful variations have turbocharged R6 engines. Cars with R4 are cheaper and less expensive to maintain. There are few notes on the internet about failures of common engines. There have been isolated cases of replacing a 2-liter gasoline engine under warranty. However, based on the number of cars sold, this does not mean anything. But it's worth taking note. The BMW X3 G01 no longer has those 2-liter engines that are remembered as high-risk engines, the N20 gasoline series and the N47 diesel series. They were replaced by newer ones from the family of modular engines, Petrol B48 and Diesel B47. Despite their complex design, they have so far proven to be very reliable. The 2-liter petrol turbo engine was offered in the following power options: 184, 224, 245 and 252 horsepower, and the 2-liter diesel engine, 150, 190 and 231 horsepower. Gasoline 2-liter engines do not pose any difficulties, while diesel engines do so only sporadically. In the 2-liter turbo diesel, problems were encountered with the crankshaft and generator pulleys. There have also been cases of turbocharger failure. Questions could also arise regarding the particulate filter. I have good news for you. Now, if you are planning to buy a used car, or learn more about your car, you no longer need to search for the information you need on the internet. We have collected everything in one place for you, on the website carme.pro. Here you can find out everything about the car, what breaks and at what mileage, any problems with engines, chassis or gearboxes, which trim levels are better not to mess with, and how not to lose money buying a used car. You will learn all this on carme.pro. In BMW cars, the onboard computer indicates the need for an oil change. Under some conditions, a reminder appears only after 30,000 kilometers, which, of course, is unacceptable. Motorists advise reducing the interval to 8 to 10,000 kilometers. The BMW X3 G01 is essentially a computer on wheels. The electronic content here is so extensive that it would seem that problems with it cannot be avoided. But, remarkably, they do not occur very often. For example, there were malfunctions in the operation of keyless entry, the rear sensors failed. You can read about several other electronics problems on the BMW forum, but it is difficult to clearly identify recurring faults. This is how you can find references to anomalies in the operation of driver assistance systems due to cameras. The service center advised replacing the control module. We also encountered jamming of the electric sunroof, freezing of multimedia, and the like. As noted above, failures are random in nature, and it is still difficult to identify typical weak points. Sometimes noises of various types are observed in the BMW X3 G01. Sometimes the steering rack starts to knock. The second-generation BMW X3 F25 had a similar problem. So far we haven't heard of frequent replacement of the rack, but it's worth keeping this point in mind. Sounds can be made by shock absorber bumpers that rub against the rubber boot. Other shortcomings include a creaking driver's seat and foggy headlights, sometimes replaced under warranty. So far, everything is fine with the BMW X3 G01, both with the popular 2-liter engines and with advanced electronics. For such a car, a service history is extremely important, but most available copies have it. Among the engines, we can recommend a 2-liter gasoline engine, which seems to be a less risky option than a turbo diesel. But a 2-liter diesel is also a good option.